Hello friends, today we shall discuss about our country India, its location, neighboring countries, the political map of India and the borders, other things. So India is a vast country and India is a country of vast geographical expanse also. In the north, it is bound by the lofty Himalayas, the Arabian Sea in the west, the Bay of Bengal in the east, and Indian Ocean in the south. Watch the shores of Indian Peninsula. So, peninsula is an area of a land that is surrounded by water from the three sides. As it has already been written here, and it is known to every one of us that at the north side it is bound by the Himalayas. On the west, Arabian Sea is there, in the east, Bay of Bengal is there, and extreme south is the Indian Ocean in the south. India has an area of about 3.28 million square kilometer. The north south extent from Kashmir to Kanyakumari is about 3200 kilometers. So the stretch from north to south is 3200 kilometers. And east-west extent from Arunachal Pradesh to Kutch is about 2900 kilometers. The lofty mountain, the great Indian desert, the northern plains, the uneven plateau surface and the coast and islands present a diversity of landforms. So we do have Eastern Ghat and the Western Ghats. We do have the islands in the Arabian Sea. We do have Lakshadweep. In Bay of Bengal, we do have Andaman and Nicobar. So there is a great variety in the climate, vegetation, wildlife, as well as the language and culture. In this diversity, we find unity that is reflected in traditions that bind us as a nation. India has a population of more than 120 crores since the year 2011. It is the second most populous country of the world after China. So what is the location on the globe or location on the earth? So India is located in the northern hemisphere, the Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north, 23 degrees and 30 minutes. So 23.5 degree northern passes almost halfway through the country. It passes from Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Tripura, Chhattisgarh. So it passes almost halfway through the country. From south to north, mainland of India extends from 8 degree 4 minute north to 37 degrees 6 minute north latitude. So it is entirely of the northern hemisphere. It is very much north. From west to east, India extends from 68 degrees 7 minutes east and 97 degrees 25 minutes east longitude. So it is the eastern hemisphere. If we divide the world into eastern and west hemisphere, India is the eastern hemisphere due to great longitudinal extent of about 29 degrees. There could be a wide difference in local time of places located at two extreme points of India. So one extreme point is Arunachal Pradesh and Assam, the other is the Gujarat. So due to a great longitudinal extent of about 29 degrees, there could be a wide difference in local time of the places located at two extreme points of India. As such, the difference between these points would be of about 2 hours. So there is a time difference from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, 2 hours. So the local time changes by 4 minutes for every 1 degree of latitude. So the sun rises about 2 hours earlier in the east of Arunachal Pradesh than in the west in the Gujarat. So while the local time of the longitude 82 degree 30 minutes east has been taken as Indian Standard Time because it is 1 hour earlier and 1 hour late from Arunachal Pradesh and Gujarat respectively. So meridian or longitude is also termed as standard meridian of India. Now come to the Indian neighbors. So there are 7 countries that share land boundaries with India. So 7 countries are those which share the land boundaries. countries. So what are those 7 countries? Afghanistan, Pakistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan and Bangladesh. So again, these are Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh. So as you can see, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar and Sri Lanka. So this is the political map of India. So in political map we can see different states and the bordering countries as well. So how many of these countries do not have access to any ocean or the sea? Those are the neighboring countries. So across the sea to the south lie our island neighbors. Sri Lanka and Maldives are the island neighbors. Sri Lanka is separated from India by Pak Strait. So a strait is a land that is separated by a sea. So we can go to that location through sea. So political and administrative divisions of India. India is a vast country. For administrative purposes, the India is divided into 29 states and 9 union territories. Delhi is the national capital. The states have been formed mainly on the basis of languages. Physical divisions. So if you see the physical map of India, you will see the Great Himalayas, Shivaliks. Then we do have the Great Indian Desert. After that, we do have the plateaus, Eastern and the Western Ghats. So India is marked by a diversity of physical features such as mountains, plateaus, plains, coast and islands. Standing as sentinels in the north are lofty snow-capped Himalayas. Him plus Alya means the abode of snow or the home of snow. The Himalayas mountains are divided into 3 main parallel ranges. The northernmost is the Great Himalayas or Himadri. Himadri means that is having him. Him means ice. The world's highest peak are located in this range only. Middle Himalayas or Himachal lies to the south of Himadri. Many popular hill stations are situated here. The Shivalik is the southernmost range. So the northern Indian plains lie to the south of the Himalayas. They are generally level and flat. So plains are level and flat. So here we do have a few terms also. So we can discuss those first and then we shall move ahead. So these are alluvial deposits. So these are very fine soil brought by rivers and deposited in the river basins. And tributaries are river or a stream which contributes its water to the main river by discharging it into main river from either side. So we can say these are the helping rivers. So though helping rivers or which contributes its water to the main river called the tributaries of a river. So the Ganga and the Brahmaputra form world's largest delta, the Sundarbans delta. So the delta is a triangular shape. It is an area of land formed at the mouth of the river where rivers enter the sea. It is called the mouth of the river. So coming to the main content, the North Indian plains lie to the south of the Himalayas. They are generally level and flat. These are formed by alluvial deposits. Alluvial we already discussed. Deposits led by the river into the river basin. And which rivers had been? The Indus, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra and their tributaries. So these river plains provide fertile land for cultivation. So land is plain, so it is easy for irrigation also, and they provide us the fertile plain. That is the reason for high concentration of population in these plains. Since it is very easy for anyone or for the people or for the government to construct the roads in these areas because those are plains. And also the irrigation facilities are also very good, and the rivers have also deposited alluvial soil that make the land fertile. So the concentration of population is also very high in the plains. In the western part of India lies the Great Indian Desert. It is a dry, hot and sandy stretch of land. It has very little vegetation because there is no rainfall. It is dry, hot and sandy. It has very little. To the south of northern plains lies the peninsular plateau. So to the south of the northern plains, once northern plains end and we are going to the south, then we find the peninsular plateau. It is triangular in shape. The relief is highly uneven. This is a region with numerous hill ranges and valleys. So small hill ranges are there. Aravalli Hills, one of the oldest ranges of the world, border it on the northwest side, the Vindhyas and the Satpuras. So we do have small hill ranges in peninsular plateau. So which are those? These are the Aravallis, the Vindhyas and the Satpuras. The river Narmada and Tapi flow through these ranges. So Narmada and Tapi flow through Vindhyas and the Satpuras. These are west flowing river that drain into Arabian Sea. So most of the river flows from west to east, but these are northwest flowing and fall into the Arabian Sea in place of Bay of Bengal. So the river Narmada and Tapi flows through these ranges. These are the west flowing river that drain into Arabian Sea. The western Ghats or Sahyadris border the plateau in the west, and the eastern Ghats provide the eastern boundaries. While the western Ghats are almost continuous, the eastern Ghats are broken and uneven. The plateau is rich in mineral like coal and iron ore. So Chota Nagpur, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, all these are plateau regions are very rich in minerals. To the west of the western Ghats and the east of the eastern Ghats lie the coastal plains. So between the Ghats and the ocean lies the coastal plains. So the western coastal plains are very narrow. The eastern coastal plains are much broader. There are a number of east flowing rivers. The rivers Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri drain into Bay of Bengal from peninsular India. These rivers have formed fertile deltas at their mouth. The Sundarban Delta is found where the Ganga and Brahmaputra flow into the Bay of Bengal. We also do have coral islands. So what is a coral island? Corals are skeletons of tiny marine animals called polyps. When the living polyps die, their skeletons are left. Other polyps grow on top of the hard skeleton, which grows higher and higher, and thus forming the coral island. So two group of islands also form part of India. Lakshadweep Islands are located in the Arabian Sea. These are coral islands located off the coast of Kerala. The Andaman and the Nicobar Islands lie to the southeast of the Indian mainland in the Bay of Bengal. So Lakshadweep is a neighbor of Kerala, and Andaman and Nicobar lie in the southeast of the Indian mainland in the Bay of Bengal. Tsunami came in 2004. So do you know which group of islands were affected by the tsunami in 2004? So Andaman Nicobar was very much affected by tsunami in 2004. So tsunami is a huge sea wave generated due to an earthquake on the sea floor. So tsunami came Indira Point, the southernmost point of India, or the southernmost land of India, has been sunk into sea, and this has been the part of Andaman Nicobar Islands. Thank you so much for watching. This was descriptions about Indian location, political and physical variances of India. Thanks.